Just lower it a little.
Mom. Am I doing it right? All right. What are you trying to do? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, a little bit lower too. Yeah. Thanks. Otherwise it blocks us. Here we go. Oopsie. I guess I'm gonna put this closer to me. Because I need chords. Here we go. Okay, stay up here, and we're going to do Life is a Dream. We have to do more music today because it's the last time you get me in the body for at least a couple of months. We'll see when I come back. Thank you. I don't really need it.
What page on that? 9. Page 9. Very good.
Life is a dream, time like a stream, carries our burdens away. Never despair. This is the admonition of Saint Teresa. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will change, but all things will pass, but God changes not. Patient endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you'll want nothing more. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will pass, but God changes not. Patient endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you want nothing more. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will pass, but God changes not. Patient endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you want nothing more. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. And nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will pass, but God changes not. Patient endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you want nothing more. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will pass, but God changes not. Patient endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you want nothing more. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. God alone, God alone, God alone's all we ever need. Let nothing disturb you, nothing affright you. All things will pass, but God changes not. Patience endurance brings you to victory. Once you have God, you want nothing more. Take this next chant into meditation, sitting up straight with your shoulders back and your floor relaxed, spine straight, chest up. Let's do 3 rounds of double inhalation, tensing everything as hard as you In through your nostrils, 2. Exhale through your mouth. Short, long nostrils. Tense, tense, tense. One more time. And as you breathe in, feel the energy rise in your spine. Pause at the spiritual eye. See the light. Keep your attention there. Never bring it back as your breathing rises and falls. Come out of the darkness, love, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. Come out of the darkness, Lord, bathe me in thy light. 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 Know that the light of Divine Mother is flooding your body, mind, and soul. And dive deep. 5 minutes, we'll meditate. Remaining in this inward state. Listen to this week's affirmation for self-healing. Courage. There are three kinds of human courage: blind, passive, and dynamic. Blind courage doesn't count the cost until it finds itself faced, horror-stricken, with the bill. Passive courage is the strength of will to adjust to reality, whatever it may be. And dynamic courage is the strength of will not only to accept reality, but to confront it with another reality of one's own making. There is a fourth kind of courage, not human, but divine. Divine courage comes from living in the awareness of God's presence within, and in the realization that He is the sole reality. Live more in Him, for nothing and no one can touch what you really are. So let's affirm in a loud voice, commanding the attention of the conscious mind. I live protected by God's infinite light.
I live protected by God's infinite light.
So long as I remain in the heart of it,
So long as I remain in the heart of it,
nothing and no one can harm me.
nothing and no one can harm me.
And now in a more conversational tone, I live protected by God's infinite light.
I live protected by God's infinite light.
So long as I remain in the heart of it,
So long as I remain in the heart of it,
nothing and no one can harm me.
nothing and no one can harm me.
And now taking it into the subconscious in a whisper, I live protected by God's infinite light.
I live protected by God's infinite light.
So long as I remain in the heart of it,
So long as I remain.
nothing and no one can harm me. And now in silence, taking it deeper into the subconscious, I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. Now with rising aspiration, bring your awareness to the point between the eyebrows, taking this affirmation into the superconscious mind in deep silence. I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. I live protected by God's infinite light. So long as I remain in the heart of it, nothing and no one can harm me. Prayer. I look to Thee for my strength, Lord. Hold me closely in Thy arms of love. Then whatever happens in my life, I shall accept with joy. Now we'll have a reading from the rays of the One Light.
So this is a reading of Rays of the One Light, weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyanandaji. Week 18, Perfection is Self-Transcendence. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. We begin this week with a passage from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 5. Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. If ye love them which love you, what reward have you? Do not even the tax collectors the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even pagans so? Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. This teaching is a combination of last week's lesson. To love all equally is possible only by seeing God everywhere, in others as well as in oneself. See whatever comes to you unasked for as a manifestation of His will. Be grateful for the pains you experience, for they are healing strokes of His love. Sometimes healing is effected only by strong measures, but His love for you is manifested in the very attempt to heal. Strive always to be impersonal, as though whatever happens to you were happening to someone else. Persecution gives us the supreme opportunity to deny the thought, this is happening to me, and to affirm our inner freedom from the thought of ego. Don't allow the negative perceptions of others to become your own self-definition. Seek God, that is the true goal of life, though how difficult to cling to it in the midst of hatred, spite, and persecution. The Bhagavad Gita tells us in the 7th chapter, out of 1,000, one strives for spiritual attainment. And out of many blessed true seekers who strive assiduously to reach me, one perhaps perceives me as I am. O truth seeker, be one among all those 1,000 who seeks the supreme goal. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind.
Well, it's a little late in the game, but good morning, everyone. And my name is Dhuti, and this is Ines, and David was our reader. So today's kind of a three different directions you could go, because it's also the birthday of someone very important to us. See? And that is Rajarshi Yogananda, Yogananda's foremost disciple. And this is his actual birthday. And so around this time of year, we honor him often throughout the different Ananda communities with a big work day, because he's an example of being able to be in the world and make a very good living. He was quite wealthy and donated much to Yogananda's organization. Is this okay? Is this blocking? All right. So the example of having a kind of a uplifting and energizing and magnetizing day to dedicate to him. So I'll start with this reading from Whispers from Eternity, which is Yogananda's book of prayer demands, in which he said, about which he said, when I am gone, read my whispers from eternity. Eternally through it, I will speak to you. So this is actually from one of the forewords. It's called Excerpt from the Great Motion Picture of Life. Uncertainty as to our life's role is due to carelessness in developing our innate intuitive soul faculties. Even without that uncertainty, however, the director will certainly guide you if you approach him in the right way. Perhaps he will put you into circumstances that will help you to respond with discrimination to his guidance. First, however, you must offer yourself to him sincerely and cooperate willingly with the opportunities he gives you.
Rouse, therefore, your own all-feeling, all-seeing wisdom by regular meditation, and ask earnestly to be shown your true role in life. As you watch the show, participate in and enjoy the part you yourself play. Watch everything that happens around you with equal appreciation. Whether events provide a delightful comedy of errors or a sequence of harrowing trials and difficulties, watch with an attitude of calm inner detachment. There is no place in the lives of God's children for pain, sorrow, grievance, complaints, or boredom. A person can, in retrospect, replay joyously all the noble parts of his life. Reflect that you can replay even the ignoble parts if you've the courage to rise above the shame and turn them to good purpose by resolving to improve the future. The great director of life's motion picture is bliss itself. We, his children, made in his image, should resolve to be ever blissful, also in ourselves. From joy we came, in joy we live, in sacred joy we melt. God created this cosmic motion picture for our own entertainment, and that of every hectic atom as it spins about in his aware universe. We, his human children, have reached a point in our evolution where we've been given the ability to reach superconsciousness. Even a light touch of higher awareness through the practice of inner non-attachment can help us to watch the moving picture of our own lives and the broader picture of life, birth, death, and general events everywhere with the same spirit of divine enjoyment. You've surely seen a theater motion picture that depicted tragedy, Shakespeare's Hamlet, for instance, or a great Greek tragedy. At the end of the play, you thought, what a marvelous drama. Why not view in the same way every scene in life? Say to yourself, how interesting it all is, with its ups and downs, its laughs, its cliffhangers, and even the seeming finality of an actual plunge down the cliff. Remember, there are no final endings. There's only continuous change. Ah, what a glorious adventure story. So I've been thinking about that. This week I was with my sister in rehab. She had her neck surgery almost 2 weeks ago. And so she was transported on Monday and back to her hometown in upstate New York. And I went in every day and spent the day with her. And so walking down the aisles of this facility, quite large facility, and there are so many souls in various stages of life. And many of them not really still in their bodies. You know, their bodies are there, but they're seemingly pretty close to leaving the body. And others are there for healing, like my sister, and hope, and that she can have, you know, a regenerated spine. And then you have all the nurses and the people who come in to help you and to bring your food and whatnot. And what a drama it is. I've just kind of been observing it and thinking, you know, I might wind up here someday, who knows, or someplace like it. And the thought used to horrify me, but now it's just like, if we're able to just, as Master says in this passage, just kind of see life as a motion picture. And we happen to be the characters in it. And we're sitting in the movie theater observing our life. And oh my God, that happened to her. My sister on the transport from the hospital in New York City, where she had this very invasive spinal surgery, she gets to the rehab 2 hours upstate. She goes to tip the 2 women drivers and found that all of her money, a checkbook, her credit cards, everything had just been stolen. And so it's like, wait, you know, even after all the neck thing, and even now is in still so much pain, not being able to manage the pain. And it's, you know, these things will pass, but you can't really tell that to someone. You know, like, hang in there. It's all going to be, you'll look back on this in 6 weeks and, you know, you won't even remember how much pain you were in. That's not really helpful. So we have to, like, you know, just ourselves have that detachment and separation from all the ups and downs. And there's a favorite line in one of Swami's songs, there's Joy in the Heavens. No, Secret of Laughter. Sing when the sun shines, sing when the rain falls, sing when your road seems strange. In a tempest, seize the lightning flash and ride the winds of change. And I just love that image, because that's what we have to do. We have to stand unshaken amongst the crash of breaking worlds, which our worlds are breaking. We are pretty insulated right now, but you know, the world it's a transitional time from one age to another, and there's going to be a lot of chaos. And so we just kind of have to hang in there and not get discouraged. Let's see. So Master said that life was for our education and entertainment. So if we can see, you know, what we have to learn from each circumstance and let it go, not hang on to the shame, as it said in the passage too. So I will share a story. I don't know if you know any of these characters of the motion picture that happen to reside at Ananda village. Both dear friends of mine and early pioneers in Ananda. And Ananda is very tall man. He's a farmer. He was on the basketball team at Stanford in the 60s, and he has long hair. He's a very dynamic individual. And my teepee, when I first moved to Ananda, I put up a teepee, and his teepee and his wife were right next to mine. So we've known each other many, many, many decades. And so Ananda relates this story that when he was kind of new at Ananda, and actually this could have just been a year or two before I came, Swami would have these gatherings in his dome, which is now the Crystal Hermitage. But when you go into the Crystal Hermitage itself, it's part of some other buildings that are built off of it, the dining room, and then also the recording studio and office. But the dome itself, that's what was just there when I first moved there. And Swami would have satsangs, we'd all pile in there. So Swami was doing some discourse and answering questions, and then he said, would you like to hear a P.G. Wodehouse story? And it's always a moment when we loved to hear Swami read P.G. Wodehouse, because he would do the accents and the characters so well. And I don't know if you know P.G. Wodehouse, but he was around the turn of the last century, and he wrote very funny stories from the English nobility, and the characters are just great, and just laughing uproariously. There's some recordings of him doing it, and he gets into it and laughs too. Anyway, so he yells across the room of the dome, if you can imagine it, to Ananda. And so the dome is filled, packed, there's like everybody's sitting on the floor, you can't move. And Ananda is over by the book. Can you throw that book to me? And it was a big, heavy book of P.G. Wodehouse stories. And so Ananda threw the book to him, and Swami kind of caught off balance as he recovered. It was like, because Ananda, in his own strength as a, not professional, but college basketball player, you toss it, you want to get the object to direct line. And Swami said, oh, I guess that was a job for Nalini. Now, if you know Nalini, she just passed, but she's beautiful, gentle, quiet, very sensitive soul. So the two personalities in this character, in this motion picture. And everyone laughed. Everyone was just laughing. Swami was laughing, and Nalini, and Ananda was horrified. He said, I just threw a book at my spiritual teacher and almost knocked him over, and the shame, So, but if we look at it like, well, he had to play that character. He had to learn, lesson learned, He's not going to throw a book like a basketball to a teammate. So our education, our entertainment, I love that line. Let's see. Anything else I wanted to say? Oopsie. Oh, there we go. I thought I'd lost my notes. Yeah, so the point of that story really is that Ananda was Ananta, and he has his role to play, and Nalini has her role to play, and every person has their own role to play in our worlds, and it does us no good to compare ourselves or try to be the person that we're not. So this gets us slightly under this topic of soul transcendence. And basically, you just want to be as one. It's a neutral. It's not like this big, strong character. You can be the character, but recognize that you aren't that character. That's just your identity. It's like a cloak that when you shed it, you're your own pure soul. So that is what we strive to be, and we strive to be that, and we can be that through meditation and just being kind and trying to be channels of light and love and compassion and non-judgment to others, and acceptance and surrender to ourselves. And that's, I think, about all I have to say about that. But I do want to share this song. I guess we can do this. I think we have time, because I'm being kind of selfish here, since I'm not going to be here in the flesh probably for a few months. But I wanted to share this song that Swamiji sang, and then then we'll do an offertory, and I'll invite the choir to come up and sing. Because it's May and I've been driving around New England and seeing tons and tons of lilacs, and if you would like to sing along with me, you may. It's called Emerald Isle. And Swami wrote, well, here's another example that I actually did want to bring in, because it's Rajasi. So Rajasi had his role to play with Yogananda, which was being a businessman and making a lot of money and being able to support the work. And his other great disciples, Gyanamata she just lived like in a tiny little room, and she didn't write and she didn't teach, but she had a role to play in this world. And the same with Swami Kriyananda, with the role he played with getting communities going and making all the teachings. Master told him, your job is to lecture and to write. And he said, what's there to write? You've already written everything. And you look at the body of work that Yogananda wrote, it's true, you think that would be presumptuous to think that you could, but he puts things into a more relatable way for our world, and bringing in the music and all the other aspects. So let's sing this song together. This was written for the Celtic music, which Swami calls Derek Bell's album. Derek is a very famous Celtic harpist with the Chieftains, great band. And he kept saying, Swami, why don't you write music for the Celtic harp? Because he loved Swami and he came to Ananda a lot.
memories in their hearts, friends, like the lilacs of May. Oh, my song is the story of the lilacs of May. My song is the story of deer on the hills, of lords that soar seeking the sun, of nightingales lifting the curtain of night, as with music they bring down heaven's blessings of light. Oh, my song is the story of God's blessing of light. Come join me in singing of that honorable isle, of flowers that like jewels besprinkle the lea, of waterfalls eager to embrace the white sea, as we with our Maker united would be, as we with our Maker reunited would be. Come hear what I sing of emerald hills, of valleys and meadows so fair, that all who have seen them have carried away memories in their hearts, friends, like the lilacs of May. Oh, my song is the story of the lilacs of May.
Hey, you want to do the offering? And now we'll have our offertory. Please take what you would like to give, place it in your right hand, and repeat after me. Divine Mother, we offer to thee the fruit of our labors. Bless this offering, that it serve as a channel of thy light.
It serves a channel of thy light
To truth-seeking souls everywhere.
to truth-seeking souls everywhere.
Peace. Amen.
So if you'd like to come sing A New Tomorrow with me, come up here. This. Okay, stay in place then. When the dawn breaks and then the morning sends the sun high in the sky.